Now that we've made our indexing decisions for our indexing style guide, it's time to start marking the first text on paper, if you like, and then in Word. You can just do it in Word if you want. In Word, slowly and methodically, look at every word on every page and mark for the index. Part 1 is to mark all your index entries. When we've done that, in Part 2, we create the index. Part 1. To mark each entry, select the text to appear in the index. Then in the References tab, Index section of the ribbon, click Mark Entry. It's a great big button. The Mark Index Entry dialog box opens with the text you selected in the Main Entry name box. It automatically appears where it says Main Entry. But it does not follow my style guide. It shows the complete name and all of it bolded, and that is not part of my style. So I edit it based on my style decisions, last name as the main entry, first name as a sub entry, bold only the last name. So I had to make that change. The good news is you then select Mark All. You only have to do that once for that name. It's done. Now it goes through and marks all the names exactly how I just told it to. Instantly, the hidden text or code appears and it opens up so you can see it. Brace, that's what we're looking at, is a brace, then an XE for marked entry, and then the last name, colon, first name in quotes, and notice it's showing which I actually chose to bold, and then close brace. That is code that needs to be in there. This code is the only way you can tell they are marked. That's why it opens up the code to see it. See it with the code off? Can't tell at all, can you? Code on. It's confusing to look at the code, but there are times when you have to see it. And while you're marking the text is a good time to have it on. Remember how we show code to see page breaks? This is also how you can hide the code for indexing. So show it, hide it. It's just an on-off switch. Hiding it does not delete the code. To delete the entry, you must delete the code. So with Show Code On, select the entire index entry, including the braces, and then press Delete. The index marking is gone. And I guarantee on your first 2 or 3 times, you will be going back and deleting when you realize you didn't do it right. I promise you, it happens. So it's good to know how to delete it. For a cross-reference, enter the main entry text with the correct style and format. In this case, bold and last name only. And the sub-entry text, in this case, first name only. Then select cross-reference and enter the name it will appear under. Here we are listing her married name, but telling them to find her under her maiden name. That's what this is saying. And here it is in code. And you didn't have to write the code. You can. I mean, if you'd rather go in there and type in code, some people do. That's what their job is, but not me. When you're done with part 1, marking all the entries, it's time to move to part 2. And by the way, if you don't get it all done or if you forget to do some, you can always go back and just edit it. So it's not permanent. Once you've created the index, it doesn't make it permanent. So part 2 is inserting the index. And so it's not permanent. You can always update it. We have marked the entries and reviewed them to make sure we followed our style guide and that we haven't left anything out. So now it's time to create the index. To create the index, start by inserting a new page at the end of your text. Remember, Control-Enter to do that. Give it a title if you want. Click your cursor where you want the index to start. Then be sure to turn off the code view. It will not create while you're in code view. Back on the References tab, Index section, click Insert Index. A new dialog box opens with a preview of a main entry, a cross-reference, and a sub-entry. Those are all showing you what they look like there. You can click OK if you're good with all that, or you can change to another format here. I change it to modern and the preview changes. The columns also change from auto, where you could have 3 or even 4 columns on a page, to just 2. Once you've made your selections, click OK, and the index appears, just like that. So the hardest in all of this is making your decisions. It's not the actual doing. Just click something. If you make any changes to your marked entries, select the index, then click Update Index for it to instantly update with the changes. We just learned the first option for marking index entries. Now we can look at the second option, which requires a little setup, but it can be much easier in the long run. AutoMark. You'll find the button to open it on the Insert Index dialog box. Click it and it asks you, where is your AutoMark file? My what? That's the setup I warned you about. First, you must create a new file with a table listing all the text you want to mark. If you prefer to use Excel to store and manipulate genealogy data, then copy it and simply paste it into Word. They speak the same language. It's especially useful if you want to use footnotes or any other great Word tools, but all your data is in Excel. When you go to print, the grid lines will not show by default. So you can create this AutoMark table in Excel if you want. To create the table in Word, listing all the text to mark, here's how. In a new Word document, on the Insert tab, click Table. Select 2 columns by several rows. Rows are easy to add, just hit Tab, so it doesn't matter how many you add. Your empty table is created. In your new table, enter your index data. In the first column, enter the text to mark from your document. In the second column, enter the text using the format from the code, but not the code itself. It's just going to look like that without all the code marks. When done, hit Save. Now we can go back to the Insert Index dialog box, click it, and open your AutoMark file. All the names on your list are instantly marked for you. So this is really a better way to do it if you get the concept of putting that code in without the code.